Hey guys, and welcome. My name is NG Paradox, and we're back with Swansea City in our second season. Now, those of you with a keen eye can already see some changes in the club. The pre-season was very long. A lot of things happened. A lot of things have gone on in the club. Some are good, some are maybe bad. Obviously, you know, the whole Fernandez fiasco, that thing was just abysmal. But I'm very excited. I'm very anxious as well. Last time, obviously, we came 5th, which was just incredible. The highest ever finish for Swansea City in their entire history. We got to Europe. I almost couldn't quite believe it. But because of our success, it also means now there's a lot at stake. There's a lot of pressure on us to continue what we've been doing. We need to really get a top half position this season. So that's going to put a lot of pressure on me. And I hope I've brought in the right people to make sure this team can continue to find success. We lost a few people. We brought a few people in. The squad itself needed a big rework. We got people back from their loans, but a lot of those players just weren't good enough. But some of them are actually in the squad because, you know, we need as many players as we can get. We're going to play in the Europe and in the Premier League. I'm really hoping I made the right decisions. When it comes to the transfer, we were given 15 million when it came to our transfer budget, which obviously is very nice for Swansea. Not sure if it was enough. It would have been nice, I think, to have had 60. But I tried to make do with what I had. I tried to find some good bargains, but then also maybe pay a little bit more for some players that maybe I just really wanted them. So let's go around and see what has happened at the club during pre-season. One thing to also take in mind, actually, something new happened, which I didn't realize it did. They had the transfer window close earlier. So the transfer window actually now closes before the Premier League begins, which is kind of nice because in real life, the clubs have stated that's what they want to do. So I'm kind of happy they added that into the game because I think it's kind of good. So the transfer window now is completely closed. So what you see today, that's it. There's going to be nothing more. I basically spent all the budget. So as you can see right here, finance-wise, we spent a lot of money. At one point, our overall budget balance was about 50 to 60 million after that first season. Lots of money for the club, but now I spent quite a lot. It's gone down to about 18. We should be fine there. By the end of the season, I would say maybe we'll have about 10 million, because we're spending a lot of wages this month. A lot of players I brought in. I tried to be good at balancing. You know, I tried to bring some players that wanted low budgets and some that wanted high budgets, so we wouldn't go too crazy. But we did bring quite a few in that wanted a higher budget for their wage. So that is probably going to eat at us during the entire season. But you guys are probably interested to see, what did we bring in? Who did we bring in and how and why, etc. I'll tell you what, there was a lot of players that I wanted to bring in that I tried to get, but we couldn't. This was a long transfer window trying to get the players we wanted. And here you go. Transfer history. Look at that. We got 10 million in. And we spent 46 million. Now, the players that I sold, we're going to go through first. I was not happy with our selling. A lot of the players that wanted to leave, I let them go. I'm not going to have players at this club that don't want to be here. Because then they don't play. They don't play properly. They're not going to play for the team. So I was definitely going to let those players go. But because they didn't play much last season, because they didn't perform, that's why they weren't being played, their values just went down and down and down. They were worth nothing by the end of the season. And I'll show you exactly some great examples right here. We got rid of Nordfeldt, our backup goalkeeper. He wanted first team football. He's a good backup goalkeeper, but I'm not going to keep him here if he wants to leave. So I decided to let him go, which meant we had to find another backup goalkeeper. He went to Wolves for about 650,000. At the time, he was worth 600,000. So you know what? That was okay. You know, he was just going to sit on the bench anyway. So we sold him for that. After that, we sold Sam Klukas. Now this is the one that annoyed me so much. He's wanted to leave for ages now. I finally managed to get Huddersfield to actually buy him. Everyone was offering me like 1.5 million. I'm not kidding. Sam Klukas, by the end of the season, was valued at 1.6 million. And that's insane. At the beginning of the season last year, he was valued at like 12 million. And obviously, Swansea actually paid 16. I thought it was 15. God, we spent 16 million. And so I couldn't find anyone to buy him. But I finally managed to push Huddersfield up to 3.5 million. That's the most I could get. I'm not joking, guys. His valuation was 1.6 million. It was ridiculous. It's now gone back up a bit to 4.6, but what a ridiculous situation. Complete waste of money, but that was the old, rulership. They bought him in for way too much money. He is not worth that much, so he is now gone. We got a bit of money in. You know what? I don't care. I just want players that want to perform for us. Fernandez, of course, went on his free to Jiangsu in China. Damn them, Jiangsu. Stealing one of our players. He was valued at 7 million, as you can see, so it would have been nice to have just sold him and get the money for ourselves. I'd have rather just kept him on the bench. I did bring in a new defensive, centre-back, and so Fernandez would have been on the bench, and I really would have liked to have had him there. I do feel our defence needs a bit more work, which is funny because that's why I said I wanted to kind of build upon our defence. And I did bring in some players for the defence, but they didn't improve it that much, I think. I didn't have the money to get more, and there were so many tempting offers for other parts of our field, which you'll see in a bit, and so I couldn't. Other than that, we let some players go out on loan. Lots of young players there, like Oliver McBurney's gone out on loan to Rotherham. Happy for him. We have a few strikers at the moment, so I didn't really need him, even as backup, so happy to let him go get experience. Tyler Reed is kind of a nice little right back there, 20 years old. He's also gone out on loan. We then also let go of Jay Fulton. He went on loan, and there's a potential they might buy him. He's not good enough. He's a good midfielder. He's just not good enough for us. The midfield role is very competitive at the club. And the last one was Narsingh. Again, Narsingh's value went down from like 11 million at the start of the season down to about 4.8 million. So he's valued at 4.8 million at the end of the season, and everyone kept sending me ridiculous offers, and I was like, no, I'm not going to go down. The most I was going to go down to was 7 million. That's what I decided. I said I have to have some sort of, place where I can stand. In the end, we did sell him for 5.75 million, but with the add-ons, it can go to 8 million. That was the best I could get. Because the transfer was about to end, I felt we had to let him go, and that was the best we could get. So I thought, you know what? 8 million's more than 7 million. Potential to get there. He should get that, really. So that's fine. So we sold him to Burnley, who did get relegated last season. But that's the ones who are gone. Those are the traitors. Those are the people who don't want to be here. Let's look what we brought in then. Okay, I would love to know what you guys think. Tell me which ones of these signings do you think will be a success? Which ones do you think were a mistake? Maybe one was which one do you think is the best bargain? And which one do you think maybe I overpaid for? Maybe I shouldn't have got in the first place? I would love to know, but I think there's some really good players here that are quite exciting when you consider them going to Swansea. So let's start at the beginning then. Johan Cabaye. Now, it's funny, I did talk about him early on in the season when we played Crystal Palace. I said he has great stats, and for his age, he's still a great player, even physically. And he came out on a free. Crystal Palace, apparently, they couldn't get him to sign a new contract. Very similar, I guess, to the whole Sanchez situation at Arsenal. And I was able to offer him a contract. 74,000 a week is a lot. But I think he's worth it. He's one of our best midfielders, and he's a good player to replace Sanchez, I think. Very similar to Sanchez. He's kind of like a bit of a more experienced Sanchez, I would say. So I'm quite happy to bring him in. We lost Sanchez. I will say, actually, I did try to buy Sanchez and Tammy Abraham. I really did. Neither of them would come. Not because they wouldn't come, but the clubs would just not sell them. So I couldn't bring them in. Both teams want them to play in their first team. I wasn't able to get either, which is really sad. But I think I brought in some great players like Cabaye, who is actually... I'd probably prefer Cabaye over Sanchez, but then again, Sanchez was really good for us last season. Maybe he made the difference, but You can see here last season he was great for Crystal Palace. A 7 rating there. So I'm pretty excited for him. Then I wanted to bring in a winger to replace Narsingh. Routledge was also getting very old. Nathan Dyer's decided he wanted to stay. And one thing I've noticed is that if you can get your team to really like you, gain their support, especially your captain can talk a lot of them down. I found that works a lot more in FM18. Britain has been great. Every time someone gets upset on my team, I just send Britain in and say, Britain, can you just go and talk him down? And it almost always works. But we needed a new winger, and there was a lot of choices, but I wasn't completely sure. I wanted someone I could definitely trust, and so I went for Johan Berg Gudmundsson. So we brought in a new Icelandic player. So that man, he who must not be named, this will teach him. Not only did we beat Everton last season, we destroyed Everton last season. We're in Europe. He is not. Sigurdsson, if you're wondering who I'm talking about. But now we also have replaced him with a different Icelandic player. You know what? Actually, the good Icelandic players are really good. And I've always quite liked Johan. I've always been fond of him at Burnley. I think he plays really well. His stats are really nice. He's 27 years old. We bought him for about 9.25 million, and he's valued already at 16 million. So I think that was a pretty good buy. I think he'll do really well on the wing there. Him, and our 3 other wingers, Nathan Dyer, Ayew, and the guy we bought from Markovic, we bought from Liverpool. I think he's really nice. Great crossing as well, which could go really well with like someone like Bonnie, obviously because Bonnie is more of a target man. He's got good heading and strength. I like him. Maybe he's not the fastest, but we have Markovic and Dyer. They're both really quick. This guy's a bit more of a slower one, so I'm quite happy with that. I'd love to know what you guys think. I think he could be great. At Burnley, he did get a 7.8 rating, just like Kabaya. And remember, this team got relegated last season. So that's a really good rating for a team that got relegated. I'm very happy with that. Now, the next one is probably the one I think is the most risky signing I made this season. We decided to pay 18.75 million for Dembele. Now, Moussa Dembele obviously has been playing at Celtic, and he has been tremendous for Celtic, obviously. In real life, he got 17 goals in 29 appearances. In the game, he got 15 in 28 appearances, so very similar. He got a 7.9 rating, and I needed a new striker because Tammy Abraham, we could not get him. So I wanted to try and find a similar player to like Tammy Abraham, and I think I found that in Dembele. Dembele is better than Abraham. And we only paid a bit more maybe than what Tammy is valued. And now he's valued as 21 million. £105 a week. His wage is really big. But that's because I had to give it to him. There was so much competition for him. Other clubs are trying to buy him. A lot of clubs made their own kind of offers. I even had to promise him that we would come in the top half of the league. Yeah. So this was quite a risky signing, but he could also be the best signing. He's now considered the key player at the club, and I think his stats, they're really good. Look at them. Look at that speed, but he's also got the strength there. He can also, do heading and finishing, good dribbling, first touch. He's an intelligent player mostly. Not the most intelligent, but he's got a lot of good mentals there. I'm really excited for him. Hopefully this was the best decision I ever made. Or could turn out to be the worst decision I ever made. We'll have to wait and see. But anyway, I think even if he's bad, we could just sell him. And we'd probably get our money back. After that, I needed to bring in a new backup goalkeeper. None of our other goalkeepers were good enough. But as you can see, I also brought a lot of foreign players in. I wanted to start bringing in more English players into the club. Because we need to make sure, obviously, for the registrations, we have enough English players. So I brought in Angus Gunn from Man City. Now, he's not a great goalkeeper. He's obviously worse than Fab, but that's because we just want him to be backup. But he still has some good potential. So he could still become just as good as Fab. So I thought, let's bring him in. He's English. And if we need him, he can jump in. He'll be fine, probably. But he can also improve in the future. Very cheap as well. We only paid 3.2 million, and he's valued at 5.5 million. And last season he was in the Championship. I think he did okay, you know. 22 games, 26 conceded. Not great, but not bad for such a young player. And he got a 6.98 rating. You know what? I think he could be fine for being backup. Also, the other backups I wanted were bought by other teams, so I couldn't get the goalkeepers I wanted, really. But that's how things are sometimes. After that, we brought in another English player, another Burnley player. I'm sorry, I had to steal players from teams that got relegated. It's just one of the best things to do sometimes. I brought in Matt Lowton for 3.9 million. Now, Matt Lowton, I think, is a pretty good right-back. We needed to replace Rangel. He did retire at the end of the season, so we needed someone to be better than Norton. And he is better than Norton, I would say. He's kind of like a younger Rangel. You know, he's got good defensive stuff, but he can go and cross. Very good physicals and great mental attributes. So I really like him. I think he's one of those players where he doesn't look that amazing for your coaches, but actually he just performs. 29 years old, valued now at 7.5 million. 29,000 a week, so he wasn't too expensive. And you can see last season he got a 6.9 in the Premier League. So he's a proven Premier League player. So I like him. I like him. So I brought him in. After that, this is probably the other most exciting one. I would say Dembele is probably the most exciting. This one is the second one, just because this could be a disaster, or it could be the greatest signing possibly. But it was free. So I don't feel it's a risk. We brought in Jack Wilshere. So Arsenal let him go, and he was just kind of wandering around the free market. No one seemed to be making an offer for him. And at first he was asking for like 90,000 a week, so I kind of stayed off it. We know he can get injured. We know he's one of those players that always gets injured and stuff. But I waited until August, and he lowered his demands because no one else made an offer, down to 62. I'm okay with that. Our midfield is very competitive, so if he gets injured a lot, we have players like Key and Britton who can come in to replace him, and I'm very happy with that. I believe in those players, but if he does stay fit, he could be really good, and he's our most valued player at 30.5 million. So he's just coming on a free, and already he's worth 30 million. This could be exciting. He's still, look at those stats. He's amazing. Stat-wise, he is so good. This could be an incredible signing for Swansea. He's only 26 years old. He's an England international. I was kind of excited for that one, just because I just find it, I don't know, just tickled. That one tickled me quite nicely. Then we still needed a player to replace Fernandes. I had been looking at players like Ben Mee, another player from Burnley, very good centre-back. But we got into a bidding war with Stoke, and there was this player who had very similar stats to Ben Mee, but I wanted to go for Ben Mee because he was English, and this guy does not speak English as well as not being English. That was not good. But in the end, Ben Mee's price went to about 11 million, and I was thinking, well, this kid here, he's like 21. He has potential to get much better than Ben Mee. And Ben Mee is going to stay, I think he's like 28. He's going to stay that age. He's going to stay how good he is. So I thought, you know, if we're going to pay that much money, I'm going to go for the young, potential, amazing player. Issa Diop, he is a French centre-back. Very good, you know, heading, jump and reach, and strength, which I think goes really well with Mawson. I think Mawson and Fernandes went really well together because Fernandes was kind of the wall and Mawson was kind of the playmaker from the back. So having another player that can be really strong and jump and head and tackle strongly, I think is really good. Very good mental things. He's only 21 years old. Now he is valued at 14.75 million. I mean, look at that potential as well. He has the potential to be a leading Premier League player probably in the future. His history, he played in Toulouse last year, 7.22. Now, obviously, the French League, there are some teams that are amazing, some teams that are not so amazing. It's not as competitive as the Premier League. when it comes to the standard. But it's still a very good league. And of course, Toulouse is not one of the top teams in League One. So him getting that, I think, is amazing. Let's have a quick look. Ooh, they came 5th last year. That's actually pretty good. Okay, maybe I'm underestimating them. They came 13th, 17th. They had a very good season last year. But there we go. Those are the players I brought into the club. That's a lot of changes. That's a lot of changes, but we needed to make our squad better. And we needed to replace so many players leaving and retiring and getting old. I think this could be an amazing time for Swansea. This will either be amazing or it will be a complete failure. When it comes to our money, like I said, we had 50 million. We have basically nothing now. It's all gone. The transfer window is now closed. When it comes to the club itself, I've convinced the board to buy our stadium. That was something I said at the beginning of the season. I said it was really important. We need to buy our stadium to expand it. You saw last season, we were jam-packed every game. Our average attendance was 100%. We need to buy the stadium and expand the stadium, make it bigger and get more money in so we can accommodate these new big signings. It will finish next year, basically. So the end of this season, we'll find out what's going on with that. Hopefully, it works out and we can expand it. When it comes to the staff at the club, you can see here the coaching is okay. It's all about average or above. We brought in one new coach, I think. Not much really changed here. John Peacock. He's okay. He's not the best, but he's pretty good. He has history as an England youth coach and a Derby coach, and he was a youth coach at Man United, so he's got a lot of good experience there. I'm very happy with him, but there wasn't many contracts that finished, so I couldn't really change too much, but I'm quite happy with that. Our medical team's pretty good, but still our scouting is really bad. And at the end of last season, I was hoping a lot of scouts maybe would be finishing their contracts so I could replace them, but not many were. I got rid of the chief scout. I've now put George Foster in charge. He used to be one of our scouts, but now he's the chief scout. So a couple of things have changed there, but not much. And let's go over quickly just dynamics. Britain and Fab are kind of the two most influential players. Not surprising right there. Leon Britton will retire at the end of the season. Overall, the club is quite happy. Borja Baston is not happy. We'll talk about that in a bit. The players that have come back from loan last season. The hierarchy looks pretty good. Social groups, got kind of 2 social groups and a few outline players. We've got a lot of new players have come in, so not really a surprise here. And let's look at the pre-season. Pre-season was not good. Not good at all. Spartak Moscow, we lost 2-0. Then we played Swindon. We lost 1-0. I don't know what was going on. Then we played OFI. We managed to win 1-0. Jordan Ayew got the goal. Then we played Elcha, and we lost 2-0. So not good at all. I think maybe because we had a lot of new players coming in, and they hadn't got here yet, so we were playing with kind of a weak squad. Maybe that was why. I don't know. But for the first game of the season, we're playing against Huddersfield. Now, Huddersfield last season came 14th. So they did quite well to survive, you know. They didn't just survive, they did quite well. David Wagner is still the manager. Aaron Moo is still their best player. Who did they bring in? Anyone? Okay, they didn't really sell anyone, but their biggest kind of marquee signing looks to be Rodrigo De Paul. Now, he looks pretty good. He's got a pretty good attacking midfielder, 13 million. They paid 7.5 million. He didn't do well in Italy last season, but maybe those are coming off the bench. We don't know. So maybe he's better than that. But this is a game we should be winning based upon what happened last season. If a quick look, competitions, the Europa League. It's here. We are in Europe, but the Premier League begins. Well, expectations are mid-table, but I need to get top half to make sure Dembele is happy. We have Aston Villa came up. They are being led by Michael Laudrup, which could be interesting for Swansea. Also came up was Fulham. So you got 2 kind of old Premier League boys come back into the First League. And Brentford have made it into the Premier League. Nice to see them come up. You know, they've got some good players. Will be interesting to see how well they can do. But we'll have to wait and see. Let's get into today's live commentary. This episode is going to be very long. There's a lot of things to talk about. It's been an incredible time. I've just enjoyed this game so much so far. But here we go, Huddersfield. We need to win this game. Now, they seem to have problems with crosses a little bit. So that could be something that plays to our advantage due to Gudmundsson. Right now, Markovic is slightly injured, so he is not playing. When it comes to the first team, then you can see Dembele is playing up front. I put him straight away into the first team. I'm hoping him and Bonnie can be good competition for each other. Jordan Ayew, Gudmundsson is playing. Probably normally be Gudmundsson and Markovic. And Ayew would be the backup. We'll have to wait and see. Jack Wilshere and Kabaye playing in midfield there. Could you imagine? That would be incredible to see. Mesa playing back here where Britain would normally play, or Key did last season. But I want to use Wilshere, Kabaye, and Mesa. These three are just incredible midfielders. They should be. Then we got Olsen still at the back there. Diop, Mawson, and Lowton. And of course Fab at the back there. Man United tried to buy Fab the last day of the transfer window. I was extremely annoyed because I just brought in a backup goalkeeper, not really ready to replace him. And they were only offering like 8 million. I need to go through and get these guys' contracts done. Luckily, I got Britain to speak to Fab, and he calmed Fab down, so Fab did not want to leave to Man United. That was close. He wanted to go, but I got Britain to talk to him. Damn you, Man United. Tried to just ruin our game. Fab is just the best goalie ever. Then at the back here, you can see the usual faces. Borja Baston is one maybe you haven't seen. He was on loan last season. Didn't go well, as you can see here. He didn't score many goals in La Liga. We paid 15 million for him. He was a complete waste of time. Thinking about, we only paid a little bit more for Dembele. That is how good I think this signing could be. Because Baston has been a complete failure when it comes to real life. It just hasn't worked out. We also brought back Jordi Amat. He also was a player on loan last season. And that also did not go well in La Liga. But I think he was brought on for substitutes and stuff. I don't know. I don't trust him. But we lost Fernandez. We needed to have backups and stuff. So they found their way into the first team. We're going to keep things very simple today. I don't want to do anything particularly special. I think we can just defeat Huddersfield. That's what we should be doing. We are playing away from home. Let's go and play the first game of the season. There you go, guys. Get your shirts. Get your numbers. Yeah, like I said, I'd love to know from you guys, who do you think was the best signing we made? And here it is, Huddersfield. Mostly what we would expect. Some good players there. Look at this Swansea team. Who would ever imagine seeing a Wilshere and Kabaye together at Swansea? And Dembele. It is just, I like it. I like it. I'm excited. This could be good. I expect to win today. I think we should just go for that. Let's do passionate. Go and impress me. It's the first game of the season. I don't want to put too much pressure on them. Mesa is now the vice-captain. Britain is the captain, but he's going to be kind of like Gary Monk was, where he was kind of like, he didn't play, but he was the captain. That's what Britain's going to be. Mesa will captain them on the pitch like Ashley Williams did when Monk was there. No comment. We're not going to talk about things like that. We can delete that. Let's get the game. Extended highlights. I still have that on, actually, because that was the last game before. Here we go. Here comes our new players. Let's see how well they do. It might not go so well. We've got a lot of new players here. They might not know each other that well. Diop is on an English learning course. Diop, our defender, does not speak English, like I said before. Dembele going in on a run there. He's going past everyone. He gets the Gudmundsson, but Gudmundsson just does a little header onto it. Did that count as a shot? I don't know. I'm assuming it did, which is kind of stupid. And then we go to Paul. Ooh, that was their new player, remember. That is basically their marquee signing. Dembele being our marquee signing. Mui, okay. Back there. Now Williams. Oyodza to Paul. Another good save by Fab, of course. We'll say as well, Diop is now seen as our kind of hot prospect at the club. So you've got Dembele being the new key player, Diop being the new kind of hot prospect. Huddersfield, though, do seem to be coming on the attack. It is their home, of course, so we can't underestimate them, which is why I haven't really gone on attack or anything. Dembele seems to be showing good movement so far. Goodmanson. Wilshere almost scored on his debut. That would have been amazing. That would have been good times. Wilshere with the corner here. Okay. Huddersfield, though, coming on the counter now. Gets it up to Mooney. Okay, good job, guys. Lowton saves it. Here they come. Every highlight starts with Huddersfield with the ball, it feels like. I don't like it. Mui. Is that how you pronounce his name? Muyi? Oh, thank God they missed. Okay. It's very tight right now. They're getting a lot of possession, but we're both getting shots, so it feels like it's just going back and forth at the moment. Here they come. Schmidt, De Paul, and De Paul just fires it over. There just isn't... It doesn't look as much clinical finishing here with Huddersfield right now. I don't know what's going on with these highlights right now. I've noticed this since the game was released. The highlights seem to have been a bit weird. Look like that. Exactly like that. I've noticed that a lot since it happened. I'm not sure. I think it's like the game is getting confused what's actually a highlight. Dembele, though, good run there. Gets the ball to Goodmanson. See, Dembele making good runs. I'm very impressed with him so far. But we want him getting it in the centre, and we want him to score. He keeps going wide. He keeps getting the ball wide, which, like I say, shows he's hard-working. I've been impressed with him so far. Goodmanson is normally the one getting the ball from him. He seems to be doing a lot of... He seems to be getting a lot of action. Ayew seems to have done nothing. Tried to tackle there. But De Paul... Okay, that's fine. It's fine. It's free kick to us. Nothing happened there. Equal... They're getting another free kick. What is this? De Paul kicks it over. Huddersfield... I feel like Huddersfield are definitely playing better than we are right now. And you can see that with the possession. We may need to just change something. Counter or control? Because they're attacking us quite a lot. We could go counter. They seem to be not a very clinical finishing. Let's go with a bit of control here. I want to gain a bit more control of this game right now. I feel like if we could just control the game, we could get some good shots off. I feel going counter, maybe we're just risking ourselves anyway. Okay, there we go. Get it down. Lowton gets it to Mesa, gets it down to Goodmanson. Kabaya to Dembele. Dembele should have done better with that. Dembele, come on. I know it's your first game, it's your debut, but come on. I expect better from a man valued at 21 million that we signed for 18 million. I expect better. But yes. So far, though, yeah, it's pretty even, but I feel like they've definitely looked better. Which is not what I want. Not what I want at all. We always have problems against Huddersfield. I don't know what it is about Huddersfield. I always have problems against them. Let's have a quick look. Diop lost possession more than any other player. Diop won back possession more than any other player. Okay, that doesn't tell me anything. Jordan Ayew obviously was the worst player, it looks like, which I agree. I didn't see him do anything. Mesa is doing the best, which is good for the captain at the moment. And let's go. Passionate. Let's go with that. We've not been the better team, but just to raise them up. We want to raise them up. Here comes Huddersfield. This is just the half-time. Little highlight. Nothing should come from this. Please make sure nothing comes from this. There we go. Okay. It's fine. It's fine. What's going to happen now? Roger East wants a word with Kabaye. Kabaye gets a yellow card. We've got quite a few yellow cards right now. I might need to take some players off to make sure we don't get a red card. We have to win this game. Guys, we came 5th last season. De Paul. How has he not scored so far in this game? De Paul. He's had a really good game so far. He just can't score. Mui gets the ball in and... What quick thinking there by Fab. We're not really gaining more possession, so I'm thinking control is not working for us. Let me think. If we go on the attack maybe more? That could be why, because of the way their formation is. They're just going to have more of the ball and more in the attack, aren't they? Let's go counter. You know what? I'm going to do counter for now, because I feel like they're not doing well at scoring. And if they're coming on the attack, maybe we should take advantage of that. We get the ball out. Wilshere picks up the ball. Gets the ball up to Goodmanson. Is anyone down the centre? Is it? Oh, it's offside. Come on. De Paul is slightly injured. That's probably good for us. He's been running around like a workhorse recently. Okay, Olsen. Throw in to Wilshere. Back to Olsen. Gets the ball into Goodmanson. And Goodmanson scores on his debut. Who needs him who must not be named who went to Everton? There we go. Sigurdsson, eat your heart out. The Swansea fans have a new Icelandic man to, pray to, I guess. Not a very good free kick. Not sure what was going on there. We just given the ball to Huddersfield. But we're now winning 1-0. We just need to hold on to this. Wilshere picks up the ball, gets it to Dembele, gets it to John Ayew. Ayew in a good position, gets it to Goodmanson, and hits it over. We've definitely seen some quality here, but just no control, which upsets me. They are at home, obviously, but still, I don't know. And here they come with a corner. Oh, thank you. I've said this before. I hate corners. I can't stand them because anything could happen. And there's nothing, you feel like there's nothing you could do about it. It's like you're a helpless puppy drowning in corners. Kachunga getting chased down there. Mouye getting a good ball in, but he couldn't gain the proper control. How did that not end with a goal right there? Good job, Swansea. Mooney gets it to Williams, but kicks it out. We need to make a change. Both our backs there have got yellows. Let's bring on Norton for Lowton. He's not played that well today. He's got a yellow card. Let's bring Norton on. And probably should take off Kabaye because of that yellow card. Let's go for Tom Carroll. Yeah. Well, actually, wait, no. Let's go for Key. And then we'll put him back where Mesa is. He prefers that. He's a bit better at tackling. Mesa's very good with the box-to-box. Ayew, should we take him off? No, let's leave our last one for now. I don't want to do them all in one go. Let's leave the last one just in case we get another yellow card or someone gets injured. Just in case. We're only winning by 1 goal right now. Kachunga goes in. He managed to get past our man, but smashes it over the bar. Huddersfield just can't score. And this is why I'm quite happy to go counter. But they're getting way too many chances. And another chance wasted. They have players everywhere. They're having 13 shots. Okay, we need to change. This is obviously not working right now. Let's just have a quick look. Who gets the next shot? Okay. Nothing's really been happening. Maybe it's working then. Yeah, we're not letting them have shots. Mesa picks up the ball. Goodmanson. It gets to the Dembele. Dembele back to Goodmanson. To Mesa. Back to him. Norton. Mesa. Mesa, Wilshere, Ayew kicks it over. Okay, Ayew. Goodmanson though is tired, and so is Wilshere. We probably should take off one of them. Ayew's not been great though, but Mesa's also tired. You know what? Let's bring on Tom Carroll for Wilshere. Wilshere, you know what? Your debut, not too bad, not amazing, but it wasn't bad either. Advanced playmaker, he likes that. We'll keep to that. Good. I'm happy with that. Get a bit more control of the midfield. We've got our goal. Maybe we just need that. Yeah. I thought we'd better take off Wilshere right there. Get a bit more control on that midfield. Ayew still has a bit of fitness to him. He can still play. May not be playing well, but you never know. One moment can completely change a player's game where he just, scores an amazing goal. By accident, maybe even, but still. Ayose gets to the Williams. Williams gets tackled. Good tackle there, but they're in a dangerous position, and Kachunga could not score. It is now a corner. And we head it out. Okay, Lowe gets it in. Mesa kicks it out. Who's going to pick it up? Oh, that was a dangerous position for us to go on a counter right there. See, you know what? This is the Swansea that we know. I'm very happy I brought new players in, but this is still the Swansea we know. a team maybe that does not always have much possession, but tends to win. I don't know how they do it sometimes. Dembele gets the ball to Ayew. Ayew! I told you! You can't lose faith in Jordan Ayew. One moment changes everything. You know what? Dembele maybe has not scored, but you got to give him credit. He has a good eye. He's got good intelligence. He always passes the ball to other players in good positions. He always helps them make things happen. Jordan Ayew with a terrible ball there. Jordan, I just was talking your praise up, and you go and do something like that. I'm not going to put this on key just because this has probably been a very long video. And I don't want it to be too long for you guys. And 2-0, I think we've got this. I think we've got it. Here they come in there with a corner. It just doesn't look like they're meant to score. It just feels like, you know, they've decided they just aren't going to score today. Up there. Okay, Mawson gets the ball out. Glad to see our defenders are going to get a clean sheet. Like I say, I'm kind of still concerned with our defense. I like our attack. I like our midfield. We need some more defenders, really. That's the only part I'm kind of disappointed with. And really, it's only because Fernandez left, really. That's really the only part I'm kind of not happy with. I like Olsen, and I like Lowton. They kick the ball out. They picked it up. Kachunga gets it up to him. Ayoze, but nothing was going to come from that. We've got 45 seconds left. This is ours. The game is done. Huddersfield, just give up. Just give up. Come on, you're not going to score today. It's just not your day. As usual, this is a Swansea day. Why are we having a replay of that? I did not click anything. See, I told you, something has been weird since the game released when it comes to highlights. I don't know what's been going on. Hopefully they'll release a patch soon then to fix that. Norton, and the game is over. 2-0 victory. Wow, 21 shots by Huddersfield. Jordan Ayew got best before. I told you. You shouldn't always take off the players who are performing badly. Very happy with that win. Good job, guys. That's what I want to see. That's the Swansea that I expected. So maybe the good times are going to continue to roll. But we'll be back next time. Today we're going to play against Bournemouth. And next time we'll be back for the next month against New Boys Brentford. And I'll see you there. Bye-bye.